Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fuente and Meerapfel present Meet the Professor. Woo! Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
How is everybody today?
I'm doing great.
I'm great.
All right, well, we got loads to talk about today, but first of all, we would like to point out the subject of the day, which is aroma. Right to you, Professor.
He's on mute.
Here we go. Aroma is a very interesting topic. It doesn't get really, people talk about the flavor, about the strength, a whole bunch of things. But to be honest, aroma as flavor, strength, complexity, finish, balance is important. I'm not going to say it's the most important, but you could have a cigar with good flavor, good strength, but if it doesn't have a good aroma, it's not complete. And there's all types of aroma. There's aromas that you pick like a certain sweetness, and there's aromas that are really, really nasty. And you know where you really get that really nasty aroma? When you're smoking a cigar that has that under-fermented tobacco. You pick up something that you go like, wow, what is this? And even a lot of people don't realize, but the aroma not only goes into your nose, sometimes when you have an offensive, unfermented aroma, it could really like water your eyes and things like that. And I'm pretty sure that Jeremiah has gone through that a lot in the fermentation process and the barns and everything down in Africa too.
I thought you were going to say when I'm sitting on an airplane next to somebody with a terrible perfume or something.
Oh no, that's terrible.
But aroma, I mean, it's happened to me that I've been like maybe in New York, or I've been in Paris, or I've been in Stockholm, or I've been here in Macedonia, or in Shanghai, or in Thailand, just walking around and somebody smoking a cigar without a band. And when I like that aroma, I will just go up to the person and say, sir, how are you? Could you tell me what you're smoking? And they'll say, I smoke this, and that. But that is only you're going to do it with aroma that's very enjoyable, as we say in Spanish, muy agradable.
Well, we all like what's agreeable, isn't that right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So, Jose, are there some guidelines to aromas?
There's not really guidelines because it's a personal preference, to be honest. You know, every country has its distinctive aroma and distinctive characteristics. And, you know, at the end of the day, the aroma, I've seen a lot of people that, you know, they're puffing on a cigar and they'll start to wave it around and just kind of bring it close to their nose just to pick up the aroma. But, you know, when you're smoking, you hardly pick up your own aroma. If you're sitting next to somebody, you're probably going to pick up more the aroma of the guy next to you than the aroma from your own cigar, unless you put it close to you, take a couple of puffs, and just try to pick it up. I mean, everybody's different. I don't know how Jeremiah does it.
Well, that's a discussion we'll get into in a few minutes. But before that, we got some good questions coming in, and these are directed at you, Mr. Professor. We got one question coming in from Mr. Fabien Carlo, who's actually a gentleman I know very well and a good friend. He says, hey, hold on a second. What's going on here? Look at this. Is it Mr. Carlos Fuente that just logged on?
But I can't see anything.
Hi.
I don't want to see you, Jeremiah. I want to see Melanie.
Hi, Carlos. You can see me now? Can you see me?
I got to swipe left or right.
Yes.
All right.
There he is.
Hey!
Hey!
Woo! It's like you're back in Las Vegas.
That's exactly where I'm at.
That's awesome. I've been there.
Beautiful.
All right, so back to our friend Fabien Carlo, who Carlito knows very well, who says, hey, let's talk. Great topic. Mr. Professor, is there some guideline to sort aromas depending on the ground where the tobacco grew? That's a good question.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, let's just take tobacco grown, which Carlito knows very well, in La Canela, and tobacco grown in Chateau de la Fuente. And let's say that the two seeds were the same seed planted at the same time, the same amount of rain, the same amount of sun, the same amount of everything. I can guarantee you that the soil will have a lot to do with the aroma. And I can tell you, like, if you take like aroma, let's say from, I would say from La Canela, from Jacagua, from Gurabo, from Mao, maybe even from San Victor, even though they grow a lot of olor there, I could tell you, even if it's the same seed, it's going to be totally different. Now, that said, I know that both you and Carlito can give really a good opinion, soil and aroma, without getting into details of taste. So take it from there, Papo.
What am I going to say that you haven't said already? Except you only started. You've only started to get an explanation. Of course, the soils make all the difference in the world. So do the crops, the climate. If you have a dry crop, a wet crop, also the seed, it has a lot to do with the curing, the fermentation. I mean, every step that's taken to bring out the utmost in the aromas, you need to have perfection accomplished during every single step of the way of the process of making a great cigar. Everything, even from the aging of the cigar, it has a big difference in the aroma, that all the elements that are not satisfactory to the enjoyment of a cigar lover, it's all removed during the aging process. I mean, every little step, there's so many that we could be on the show for so many hours, and we have forgotten most of the things that could affect the aroma.
And before you got in, Carlito, one of the things that I said is we were talking about offensive aromas. Where do you really get an offensive aroma? It's going to be with that under-fermented tobacco that, I mean, is as nasty as hell.
I think it could have to be if you have dogs walking around, ugly dogs walking around your farm, and they're doing their necessities on your tobacco also.
Is there a oh gosh, I just saw this. He says, is there a consistency from a harvest to another, or is there a strong vintage or a mild vintage?
Yes, go.
No, I believe that there is a slight difference from vintage or year to year, of course, depending on weather. But there's more of a difference from land to land, soil to soil, and seed to seed than there is from year to year. Because year to year is adjusted by the cigar maker, the master blender, or the chef. Because remember, we, unlike winemakers who are blending liquid, that you take a lot of liquid. And I want to take advantage and say this because I've said it many times and no one's ever dared to publish it, no editor, because they have to be politically correct. But you have thousands and thousands and thousands of winemakers all over the world. They grow grapes, and many of them are my dear friends, and I am a big, big wine lover, so I take nothing away. You grow the grapes, you harvest the grapes, you take out the juice, you ferment it. Some go in barrels, some go in stainless steel, whatever it is, but it's a process. Yeah. When you put it all together, you have uniformity. It's liquid. Cigar makers are more like chefs. We're blending solids, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of oregano, a pinch of garlic, a little olive oil, a little bit. These are solids, so it's
now I'm hungry.
Complicated. It's a very, very complicated process. That's why I take my hat off to every cigar maker and every great cigar maker. There are many in the world today. When I say many, you could literally count them in your hands. That's how many there are. There's not one more, trust me.
I think I've sat with most of them so far.
Yes, you have. They're all my friends. And they're all my friends. Look.
I agree. I love that about that.
You know, Carlito, you said something very important about harvest to harvest. That's a lot of things that, you know, we get asked and we talk. You know, like you said, every crop is going to be different. If you have a crop where it rained a lot, you're going to have really, really, really big leaves. They're going to be very light in color. You're going to have very little oils on them. The fermentation process on that is going to be at a very low temperature. But if you have a season where it hardly rained, you're going to have very thick leaves, very oily, and the fermentation process on that in the heat. And the aging is going to be much longer than what we call because you have a wet crop, a dry crop, and the ideal crop. And the ideal crop is when you have good sun and you have good rain. But if you lack rain or you have too much rain, it's not desirable. And like you said, every year, depending on the crop, depending also on the type of tobacco, we have to make adjustments at the factory because we want to make that blend to come out just as it's been coming out for the last 10 years or 20 years or 30 years or whatever it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are witnessing something very unique right now.
You brought up a very good point. I have a very, very dear friend of mine who I have the greatest admiration for, who's in the industry, a colleague named Rocky Patel. He's been arguing for years and years and years to the FDA that it is impossible to regulate premium handmade cigars and for them all to be the same, that it's a natural product, that it's even impossible for the cigar maker. We have no control over nature. Every cigar, every leaf is in some minute way is different. Even one leaf from a single tobacco plant, one is on this side, on the east side, the other one, let's say, is on the west side. The east side of the plant is near the mountains or near a forest. That side doesn't get much sunlight till noon. The other side of the plant, it's on the other side where there's no forest, no interference, and it starts getting sunlight from 12 o'clock to 5 or 5:30 in the afternoon. It's got much more sunlight. The leaves are going to be different on the same plant. That's how intricate and how interesting and how mysterious it is to make a very special cigar. You really have to know what you're doing. And this is something that's not learned in books. You can't read it in books. This is oral teachings that have been passed down from great-grandfathers to grandfathers to fathers to sons, and we pass it on to our sons and our children.
So they love your comparison to wine.
What is being sold right now in front of you is very special. In my 40 years being raised and working in this industry, I have never witnessed people going live on the record telling you the intricacies and the secrets of behind the curtains. And what you're witnessing today, what I'm witnessing today, is absolutely unique. So we're all blessed. So let's, Melanie, there's a question that came in.
Oh, yeah, baby. One of the guys says, yeah, baby. They love it. Let's see. In comparison, are there cigars from certain years or batches that are valued and sought for like a value?
Well, there was a glitch. There was a glitch on the internet there on the Wi-Fi or whatever. So I'm going to repeat the question. So Art Bowker sending in, and hello, Art. I hope you're well, my friend, and safe.
Hi, Art.
The comparison to wine is good. Are there cigars from certain years or batches that are valued and sought after, kind of like a bottle of particular wine? What do you say?
To be honest, we know there's a lot of people that are huge collectors of cigars. And I would say my personal opinion, and Carlito and I have had this conversation. What is the price today of a 1994 Opus? What is the price of a 1995 Opus, the first 2 years when those cigars came out? And I told Carlito the other day, and he asked me, how the hell did you get them? I still have of the original batches, 94, 95, maybe 56 or 57 of them. To me, they're priceless. But that said, it's not about how old the cigar is. It's about the quality of cigars. And we talked about it yesterday. all cigars do not age well. And I'm not saying this because I'm working, getting paid by Fuente. There are very few cigars in the world that age like an Opus X. I have some of them that are 20 years old, and I might smoke 1 or 2 a year. When I smoke that cigar, I'm not going to tell you that on strength it's still a 9 or a 10, but that 6.5 and 7 of the characteristics that Opus has, it's still there. So that is one cigar that in time will only be more valuable. I don't know what Carlito has to say because he smokes them all.
Me too. I smoke all mine too. I don't save them.
I, Carlito, honestly can't answer that question because I don't buy them. I just make them for people to enjoy.
That's a great answer.
There's another great question that comes in from Fabian. He says, good soil and good rain. What is the result in taste? Is it better balance? Let's say between spice and sweetness.
Let me tell you, I'm going to give my personal opinion on that. I think maybe you and Carlito could go more into depth in this. This is not about whether it's rain or it's too much rain or not enough rain. It's all, in my opinion, it's all about the soil. Even though the seed is so important, but it's all about the soil, the pH, the magnesium, the nitrates that the soil has. But also at the same time, we always forget about this. We go to the part when you're growing, that's a cycle more or less of 120, 125 days more or less. But when before you start to put that tobacco in the curing barn, if you pick them before they're ready to be picked, or you let them mature a lot, that's also, even if the curing is done perfect, it's going to affect a lot over that. Would you not agree, Carlito?
Absolutely. Every single step. If tobacco's picked under-ripened or over-ripened, you will not get positive results. And as far as rain and sunshine, you only need a minimum amount of rain a week, and you definitely need sunshine. That's for the development of tobacco. That's like the nutrients that are necessary, but you also need the nutrients from the soil and the balance, the pH, and there's so many minerals and elements that are necessary. This rain and sunshine is just to be able to develop that leaf into a healthy stage that when you harvest it at the precise moment, that you could take it to the curing barns, cure it properly, and then separate it properly, sort it properly, and all the proper stages that will go on throughout many years after that. It's many steps. It's not one thing that makes a difference. It's an accumulation of all of it together.
We got a question coming in from Mitchie. He says, how do you know if it's picked at the right time? Is there a length or color that gives you the okay that it's time to pick? And this, Mitchie, is a damn good question because every farmer in the world goes crazy to figure out that right moment in time to pick. What do you think, Carlito?
Well, you have to look at the plants at an average, and we pick 2 leaves at a time so that we're more precise at the moment of maturity. You can see the leaf when it starts wilting, swelting, and the tips. You can see the very little tip, it starts like turning in color. It starts turning a little bit, and you know that particular leaf, but you got to look at an average because you can't go in to pick one leaf out of a whole area, for example. This is exaggerated to give you an idea because you end up breaking of 20% of the other leaves. So this is a decision that the farmer has to make. That's why it's so many different, intricate,
details.
So many responsible little details. Yes, so many details. That's why you need the judgment of the farmer. You need the proper people that know how to handle tobacco, how to pick it. There's so many different things. It is quite complicated. And, we talk about the enjoyment of it, and we want it to appear to be as simple as possible. But that's what we want you to believe. But all the difficulties and the challenges, that's what we live day by day. And that's why we fall in love with it. My grandfather taught me as a very young boy that tobacco is like a woman. Treat a tobacco with kindness and caress that tobacco. Even if you see that leaf tight and shriveled up, treat it with tenderness, warm it up, and it will spread like the wings of a bat. And something about women and tobacco singularity, the same way. Tobacco, like women, sometimes they don't treat you too well. And the worse that they treat you, the more you suffer, the more you want to go back and conquer. And that has been my life.
Oh my gosh.
It's exactly what Carlito says, and this is like we've said it many times, and we talked about it yesterday. This is not something you're going to learn in a university or Harvard or MIT or whatever. This is just being down in the farm and taking years and years of experience. And to be honest, and this has been all over the world, it was the great-grandfather who taught the grandfather, and then the grandfather taught the son, then the son, the grandchild, and it goes generation to generation. There's factories that have had, 3 or 4 generations working with them directly or indirectly. So this is something that with time you learn, but also very important is the agronomist who is running the farm, because he has his people that are out there, and that person is really teaching a lot of the new people and through the old people to really know precisely when that leaf has to be picked. And like Carlito says, yes, 2 leaves at a time, and then it's classified, and then it goes into the curing barns.
That's right, absolutely. Now, we're going to try something special today. I promised yesterday that we would try to select people from the audience for them to be able to ask their questions live. So let's see if this works. How do you guys are okay with this?
Absolutely, that's awesome.
Absolutely, yes.
Let me, hey, wait. Hold on a second. Let me swipe first. Let me swipe. I'm not seeing the. Hey, there you go.
All right. So let's get Art Bowker on the line. Art, if you can hear us, we're going to allow you to talk and ask your question live on Fuente Meerapfel presents The Professor. Art, can you hear us?
Yes. Yes,
Hey,
can you hear me?
how you doing, my friend?
I am doing most excellent.
First of all, you got to tell us where you are, how you're doing, and anything you want to do, and then shoot. Question is yours.
I'm working out of Cleveland, smoking a fine cigar, working from home. Can't smoke the cigars at work. This is great.
I love it. Hi, Art.
Hi. My question is there different parts of the cigar, the filler, the wrapper that are picked from the tobacco leaf at different times? Is there a different when you should harvest it?
First of all, Art, how are you? I hope
I'm good.
Hope it's not too cold out there. So you got to remember that the cigar has 3 components: it has a wrapper, a filler, and a binder. Now, a lot of people say, well, we have a farm. You have a farm that say you're growing wrapper. A lot of people think that it's all going to become wrapper. It's not all wrapper. Depending on the type of tobacco, if it's sun-grown, if it's shade, there's farms that'll give you 60, 70% of wrapper. So people say, well, what do you do with the rest? Well, that becomes a binder. Now, you have farms that are for filler, that probably 70, 80% of that, or maybe 85% is going to be filler. But out of that also, with the lower primings, you're also going to get some binder. So remember, you have a wrapper, filler, and a binder. Now, unless you're doing, let's say, a puro, like the opposites, which is filler, binder, and wrapper, all Dominican. But not all the tobacco comes from Chateau de la Fuente. The Fuentes have their own farms in different parts of the countries where they will be getting that filler and that binder for that. And I think that Carlito can elaborate more on that also.
Can I?
Yes,
Can I?
maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'll let you.
That's funny.
All right, how's it going, my brother?
It's going
How's
good.
Cleveland?
It's
Man, I wouldn't mind being in
overcast.
Cleveland right now. I'm telling you, I'm in the third world in the Caribbean, and this beautiful weather outside, yet I got to be locked up. That's life. But you know what? I'm also smoking a cigar indoors, which I normally don't, but today's a special day. So we're enjoying each other and we're enjoying each other's company. And truly, that's what this program is all about, to be able to reach out to the people who enjoy cigars, who enjoy life, and be able to share our thoughts and hug each other, whether it's through the web or whatever it is, but to share our love. And growing wrappers is different than growing fillers. Normally when you grow long fillers, you're growing it in the sun because you need heavy tobacco. And when you grow wrappers, you could grow sun-grown wrappers, but when you grow sun-grown wrappers, depends on the area. But in the Caribbean, where the sun is very, very hot during the tobacco season, sun-grown wrappers, you get very, very little sun-grown wrapper. You get, basically, you're growing filler and you're picking the thinner, more elastic leaves as wrappers. But to literally grow wrappers in the Caribbean under the sun, you need to be in you need shade cloth, which protects only a percentage of the sun rays. Also, the cloth, what it does is that it breaks down the heavy rain from breaking the leaves. It kind of leaves like a sprinkle on the tobacco, caresses the leaves of tobacco instead of the heavy drops. But they're two different processes. And normally, there are different seeds also. And you either have a wrapper farm or you have a filler farm that you remove wrappers from. And most of the time, the wrapper farms, the goal is to produce wrappers. Sometimes you can get 40% wrappers, 60% wrappers. Sometimes you get 5% wrappers. And the rest will go for binders, as Jose said. Jose is absolutely right. But they're really two different processes, and they take two different techniques. And they're different. The way they're done, to be done properly, they're done differently.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Well, thank you for calling. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for participating. Stay tuned. Make sure you keep the questions going, and we're going to get you back on very, very soon. We'll go on to our next question right now. This one is from a gentleman. Hey, let's see if we can get him on. Hold on a second. Here we go. Mr. Fabian Carlo, you have a question for us.
Hi, guys. Does everybody hear me? Hi.
Hey,
yes,
how you doing?
We hear you.
I'm great. Thank you very much. So my question is easy.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
First of all, where are you calling in from? How you doing? And tell me a little bit about yourself.
Excuse me, sir. I'm Fabian Carlo. I'm online from Belgium, Liège, a small French-speaking city. And as some of you know, I'm a cigar retailer in a family business for more than 100 years. And I'm also aficionado Fuente cigars. And I'm good. I'm very good. Family as well. I hope for you too.
All right, thank God. That's the most important. All right, yeah. Fabian, what's your question, buddy?
Yeah, my question is very easy. I would ask Carlito, what is the birthplace of the dream? What is that special characteristic of Le Chateau de la Fuente? What makes this place where magic appears?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's an easy question. That's an easy question to answer. I have no answer. Only God. And I'm saying from the bottom of my heart, it's a place where no one would have dared to have gone to. It was a place where there were no roads, no electricity, no running water, no schools for the children. It was a challenge. And I truly believe that this is what I believe in my heart. I have no other explanation. Fabian, the question that you asked, I've been asking myself that for the last 30 years. We've been in the property of Chateau de la Fuente since 1991, the beginning of 91. I still haven't come out with that answer. And I am certain that it is destiny, it's God, took us to a place and gave us a vehicle or the bridge to reach out to people all over the world, to make a difference in this world through something as simple, an instrument as simple as a fine cigar, to bring people together and to share love. and I'm referring to Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. Today, I call it Birthplace for Green at the time because I was challenged and I was told that it was impossible to grow wrappers. And there was something more as an ironic ridicule to my colleagues who said I was lying and that we would never be able to grow wrappers in the Dominican Republic. I'm talking to the same colleagues who live in the Dominican Republic today who claim to grow wrappers, all of them. So don't shy away. They know who they are. And I hope they're listening right now. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be more proud of your country. And you should have more belief. I called it Birthplace for Green because it was something that I had to do because I was challenged and said it was impossible. But I realized 20 years later, that dream was not accomplishing a cigar that became one of the most sought after trademarks in the world. Because that doesn't happen overnight, like it did with Fuente Besax when it was introduced on November the 18th in New York City in just 4 smoke shops. And people were coming from all the way from Wall Street, businessmen who make millions, to Midtown Manhattan and wait in line, like people wait in line today to get 2 cigars at a time. That's unheard of. That doesn't happen. You build a cigar brand, like an old friend of ours said, Dick DeMiola, by wearing our shoe leather. I believe that this was just the vehicle to bring us and make us aware of the needs of the community and change the lives of so many children who today are changing this world one child at a time. That's my honest opinion, my friend. And I love you, Carl. You be well. My best to you and your family. God bless.
Thank you very much, Fabian. That was a hell of an answer to a very good question. Send the love to the family, and we'll stay tuned, and we'll talk very soon. We got a very, very, very beautiful question that just came in from the United Arab Emirates. This is from a gentleman called Jassim Ahmed, and Jasmine says the following. Hello, legends. Good morning and good evening for us in the United Arab Emirates. Our question is to Senor Jose Blanco. And this is the question, Jose. We wanted to know whether you tried the latest Amor del Desierto exclusively UAE, one of the best cigars we have ever tasted, and launched in Dubai in December. This cigar was a gift from Senor Carlito, and if yes, we wanted your review, your opinion, and our aficionados would be very happy to hear what you have to say.
Let me tell you something.
Can I answer that question? Could I answer that question?
Yeah, you
Please?
better.
Please, could I answer that question? Listen.
You better.
Hey, Jasmine, you are putting a lot of pressure on me. You're going to force me to send him some cigars for him to try? Because no one has tried that cigar outside of Dubai unless you go to Dubai. So don't try to get us in a trick question, okay?
Including
I know who else is listening.
Including myself. I haven't been able to try the damn cigar yet.
No trick questions. No trick questions. No
wait, but there's another one.
Okay?
Oh, wait, now
no.
Carlito, they think you're sending cigars now. You better watch what you say.
Oh, wow.
I'm resigning today.
So
Carlito, what's a bigger joy? Coming up with a new blend or watching each graduation at the foundation school?
What was the question, sweetie?
What gives you more joy? To come up with a new blend or to see a graduation at the foundation school?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. No cover of any magazine. No accolade. Nothing touches my heart or brings out my tears more than seeing a graduation at Cigar Family Charitable Foundation. Nothing like in the world. I'm a blessed man.
What is it? Can you give us a little detail about what it is?
That's a long story.
Oh, okay.
That's a long story. We'll talk about that some other time. What I like to speak about is cigars and how much cigars bring people together, and how that all of us met through a cigar, and how blessed we are that we get to know each other, and that life is really short. And I think now with these crises that we're living, we're gonna overcome this, and we're gonna be stronger than ever. I think so many people that want to be politically correct, they're gonna be in the middle of the street. They're gonna see a nice looking lady or an elderly lady walking by, and they're gonna say, "Lady, dance with me." And they're gonna dance in the middle of the street, and people are gonna smoke cigars, and they're gonna enjoy their scotch, and they're gonna just enjoy life. Because I think we've gone to the point that we're restricted of enjoying ourselves as human beings. And I think this is gonna be a big change. It's gonna bring us all together, not only as one country, but as one world. And I really have that faith, and I have that belief. And I think that's what cigars are about. It's about enjoying life, enjoying people, and bringing people together.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. And that's what this is all about. This is all about you. This is all about bringing us together. And this is all about making sure that we can hold each other's hands through these moments, keep a smile on our faces, stay positive. And as long as we all have each other, everything's going to be just fine. And on that note, I'd like to give it to you, my dear Benoit's Baked. And why don't you put a smile on our face?
I'm there. I would like to speak today about a love story, Jeremiah.
Love story?
Yes.
That's one for Carlito then.
That's what this whole program is about. I want to hear a love story.
Yes.
I was putting Benoit out last night. I was like, he's cute. I like him.
That's something happened in the restaurant two years ago, and it was a table of two people, a couple, and the lady was in the restrooms, and I was speaking with the guy to know why he's there. Is it for an anniversary or something else? And then we were speaking about music. I told him that my favorite band is Queen, and he told me back then his favorite singer is George Michael. And then we were speaking about tracks, and he told me the best music about love ever is "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" of George Michael.
Oh yeah,
that's a very good choice. And he said the duo with Elton John is really the best, and the lady was back to the table, and he told me it's a track of a wedding, wedding track. Yes, wedding track. So I go back to my office. I took the Sonos music system, and then I put this track, "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." And I go back to the table, and then the lady was crying because it was the wedding anniversary. It was 25 years together with this guy. And then the couple stand up and work in the dining room and dance in the middle of the dining room. And then I had 3 other tables with 3 other couples because it was the 14th of February. And I had all these people in the dining room, broke the service, and was busy to dance with this show. That's the story that I would like to share with you today, guys. Because love, we are speaking about cigars, we are speaking about soil, we are speaking about man manipulation, fermentation, but the other important things when you want to make something is love, I think. And when I heard Carlito Fuente speaking about his cigar, I think there is a lot of love in his cigar. That's it. What do you think, Carlos? What do you think? Do you make love to make your cigars?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Every single time. Every single time.
And what do
But
you
you know
prefer?
what?
Do you
The
prefer
most-
to
but
make
wait,
love or do you
hold,
prefer
wait.
to make cigars?
No, my friend. It's like cooking. The most important part is the foreplay. The foreplay is the preparation. The most important part is the foreplay, the preparation. You cannot make a great cigar without long, painstaking preparation. It's
Carlito,
the
do you
foreplay.
like to cook too?
And the same with a beautiful woman.
Well, just look at me and you answer that question for me, Melanie. My face is bigger than the screen.
Carlito.
That's just because you're too close to it. That's not real ratio.
Well, you know why? That's because you guys have computers and I got a little iPhone and I'm in the third world.
I have an iPhone too. I just have to say it.
This conversation.
Oh, you look great.
This conversation is taking the wrong turn. We're talking about foreplay. We're talking about if this gentleman could cook or not. Melanie, behave yourself, please.
Always.
Just let me know if I look better.
Yes, you too. See? You look amazing. Make me a mojito. I want a mojito now.
All
Those
right.
were really good mojitos.
We got a question coming in from Mano. Mano, this question is at you, Carlito. What are your future plans, or to be more precise, are you intending to launch a new cigar right now?
No. Hello? Am I? Yes. I'm planning to launch a new cigar. I have been working on a new cigar for the last 3 years. Something very, very special to me. I go to sleep at night sometimes after looking back at my life and I'm saying, what's next? Am I going to give my glove, as we say in baseball, to my son, to my daughter who works around the clock, who I'm so proud of, my daughters? Or if I'm going to keeping this ship going full force ahead? And something about that, I don't sleep much at night. And during my most critical and deepest crisis, when I become creative, I got so much new shit coming out. Listen, I love it. I love every second of it. There's going to be very exciting stuff coming out, different, new. And one thing I want to say, we have a very, very large profile of cigars. Smoke one and smoke any other cigar Fuente makes, and you're going to see they're different and they're consistent year after year after year after year. That is my ultimate goal. That's my dream. That's what I was taught by my mentor, my father. Consistency, like a great chef in a great restaurant. That's why Jose was right. The professor. We're more like chefs than we are compared to any other industry. Consistency, always being the same. And we may have so many profiles, but I'm a family business. We're a family. I love tobacco. I hoard tobacco. I age tobacco. This is what I love. And with so much tobacco, it's endless of the creations that you can make just by tweaking. But remember one thing, this is important, please. They all come from the same chef and they all come out of the Fuente kitchen. So this is going to be a Fuente style. Our cigars are not Cuban. They're not Dominican. They're not Honduran. They're Fuente. They are like no other cigar. There's a lot of great cigars in the world. My intention is not to be in like any other cigar. That's why so many people do not like our cigars. We're fortunate that some do.
People
Our
don't
goal
like
in
your
life is to be
cigars.
ourselves and be different and be unique. I want to be the John Lennon that creates the hits, not the jukebox player that copies something to somebody else that plays a song that somebody else has already played. That's not me.
Well, they think it's a dream that you get to do what you love with the people that you love, which I think is awesome too, which I am so glad to be here now for that reason. Thank you.
Well, let me tell you something. Melanie, you have no ideas. My last inspiration the last 3 days has been because of you. I see a lot of water. I see movement. I see blue. I see so many beautiful things you have no idea. This is what feeds my mind.
Good. Really, that's what I'm here for. And the unicorn.
Nice beauty.
Wait, Carlito, can you find yourself?
Oh, I found myself, but where are you? Wait. Swipe to the left.
Which color shirt am I? Which color shirt are you wearing?
I found you. Look at you. Oh, man. It's living the life. It's nice to be in Naples. It's nice to be in Florida.
I'm waiting for you to come and visit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a fantastic show. We've had a really good time today. Carlito's been on fire, and we've been very lucky to have all of these unbelievable explanations, all the details, all the behind the scenes for us and for you on today's Meet the Professor. Now remember, join us tomorrow, same time, same place. We have a very, very, very famous, prestigious, and honorary guest coming on to meet us tomorrow. The one and only, our big friend, and we're a big fan of his, Rocky Patel, will be on the show tomorrow. And we're looking.
Wait. Are you serious? Rocky?
Oh, yeah.
Yes! Why wouldn't you do that?
Yes.
So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same time, same place. And remember,
just let me say one thing. If Rocky is there, the ratings will go to the roof. But I don't want Rocky to get all the credit because I've been on the show 2 times already, okay?
Right?
I got some momentum. Listen, Melanie and I got the momentum going, okay? We know the professor has all the knowledge. And I know that the Godfather is the gatekeeper. But please, don't give up. Tomorrow the ratings will go through the roof because you got a great.
He has a lot of fans.
Special guest star.
Hey, Godfather, don't forget to mention that we have a new Facebook page and they can easily go there and like it and find our stuff.
And you know, the good thing about Rocky tomorrow, if there's somebody that we really have to give a lot of credit for what he's done for the industry has been Rocky. Rocky has been with some other guys out there that really have fought very hard and they put a lot of sweat, blood, and money to make this happen. So I've been friends with Rocky over 20 plus years. I've respected him always. We've been always very tight. So yes, tomorrow's going to be a very interesting show. And I know that people are going to enjoy us tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Let me just say, I need to say one more thing. It's very important. Tomorrow I'm going to leave the show to Rocky. I'm going to intentionally be away because Rocky has done so much. And there's so many other of my colleagues who have done nothing. And so many retailers who are complaining today that sit behind the cash register, ching, 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 ching. And they're so concerned about this month versus last month and everything. But there's a group of people, the grand majority, who have worked very, very hard. How do we get the rest of us to join consumers, retailers, organizations to be one and fight for something that we have every right to fight for? This is the United States of America, FDA, and it's the American dream. It's our right. It's our right of choice. It's our right of freedom. Rocky is a crusader for that. Rocky's a crusader. And I want Rocky to have the show for as much as possible for himself.
Okay, but he's going to miss you, Carlito. He's going to miss you because he's going to miss you.
All right. Well, we'll figure that one out tomorrow, but it promises to be very...
Wait. Wait. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to see that he's stealing the show, I'm jumping in. And let me tell you something. If I find out that he's getting more time than me, there's going to be some problems, okay? I'm just saying, so beware.
All right. Well, you guys log on tomorrow. Make sure you join us live. Remember what Melanie said. We have a Facebook page now. We have a YouTube channel now. I think we even have an internet site that Melanie's setting up for us now. Is that right, Melanie?
It will be up tonight. So as soon as I get some approvals on my wording, it will be good to go.
Rock and roll. And remember.
And it's all the Fuente show.
And one thing I like to add, please. If I have
We love
anything to say about this program, it's not about cigars. It's not about it's about the people. It's not about cigars. Let's not talk about cigars and ratings and what brand is better, this and that. We're all one. We're all one family. We're all in together, and we're all here to survive and to conquer, and we will. We're all one family. I want to make that very clear. We're not here to promote products. I never would do that. And that is not our goal or our intention. We're here to share the love, and the love through smoke, as it's always been historically.
And the education.
Yeah.
And
I love
education.
it.
Of
I think
course,
this is,
education is love, my friend. It always has been.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've had a beautiful testimony. I think everybody understands what this is all about. I think you're all witnessing that everybody's getting together from the industry and coming into your households, not only to bring you the latest news, but also to teach you what nobody else wants to talk about, bringing all of us together and holding hands through these moments. And remember, this is, like Carlito says, this is about love. This is about people. This is about people being united. Log on tomorrow, same place, same time. In the meantime, stay safe. We love you. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
Love you. Love you. Love you. Hey.